In this video, I want to compare and contrast the Shun Classic Boning Knife to the Zwilling Professional S boning knife. The entire point of a boning knife is to break down large pieces of meat into smaller, more manageable cuts and to, of course, remove bones from them. And I actually really like the shape of the Shun for that. It gives you much more control, much more dexterity and agility through the meat, and it really ends up losing less meat to the bone than you would with a knife like this. And this is one of the only times you can see such a drastic difference in the shape, and I think it really makes a big difference. They're both handmade, they're both forged, and they're both actually ground to very similar cutting angles. The Zwilling is a very sharp 15 degrees, and the Shun is a little bit less sharp at 16 degrees out of the box. But the thing is that the steel they use is very different. The Zwilling is a 57 hardness proprietary steel, while the Shun is a wrapped core of 61 hardness VG Max that's been wrapped in 34 layers of stainless steel for protection. And what that means is the Shun is going to stay much sharper for much longer than the Zwilling will. At the same time, while they are both forged, the Zwilling has a long, full bolster, so this portion right here, and even this portion right here, is dull, compared to the Shun, which has a sharp portion from the tip all the way to the end of the blade. The full bolster normally has a tendency to get in the way and sort of mash into things as you're cutting, and that's really not fun, especially on a boning knife. Both knives have full tangs. The difference comes in the fact that the handle of the Zwilling is a traditional German-style handle that's triple riveted with two pieces of plastic, while the Shun uses a traditional black pakkawood handle with a D shape to it, so it fills in your palm really nicely. Pakkawood is, of course, a resin-filled compressed wood, so they're both going to be very resistant to water damage and staining. The one thing I will say is if you like pinch grips like I do, the bolster of the Zwilling is a little bit tougher to do that with because it has sharp edges on either side, and they sort of dig into your finger and they're not that ergonomic. By contrast, the Shun has two rounded and tapered bolsters on either side that fit your finger very, very nicely and really just make it a joy to use. Both knives have lifetime warranties, but the Shun also comes with lifetime sharpening for free, which I think is a deal breaker, especially if you don't want to have to personally sit around and sharpen all your knives, and you also don't want to have to pay $5 an inch for someone else to sharpen it for you. I'll put links down to both below. If you have any questions, any comments, or any concerns, as always, let me know, and otherwise I will talk to you very, very soon.